Amazon GameLift. Amazon GameLift is a managed service that provides game server hosting abstractions on top of Amazon EC2. It handles some of the most technically challenging elements of game hosting so that you and your team can focus on developing game software. GameLift is designed for session-based games. It has features to build multiplayer games and battle royale games with 100 or more players, and it scales to multiple regions and globally. Instances are grouped into fleets. A fleet can be manually or automatically scaled. Fleets are normally composed of identical instances. Each instance is loaded with game server software, which is used to start one or more game sessions. The instance type and resources required by the game server determine how many sessions you can run on a single instance. The choice of instance type also affects the efficiency of scaling actions because you add or lose the capacity of the total number of game sessions with each instance. One of the most popular features of GameLift is its support for spot instances. At first glance, spot instances don't seem to be suitable for game session servers due to the fact that they can be interrupted with only 2 minutes notice. This means that game sessions wouldn't have time to complete. However, it is possible to use spot instances if they can be determined to be safe. GameLift includes exactly such a feature called Fleet IQ. Fleet IQ historically reduces spot interruption of game sessions to under 1 in 50,000. For that tiny chance of interruption, a spot fleet can be up to 70% less expensive than an equivalent on-demand fleet. A spot fleet is managed using Fleet IQ, a feature that manages availability and marks the spot fleet as unavailable to maintain the quality of game experience. You can back up one fleet with another. For example, if a spot fleet becomes unavailable, you can back it up with an on-demand fleet. The relationship between fleets occurs by placing a list of fleets in a queue, an object that is used during game session placement. Game sessions can be reused or recycled. To be reused, after a game is over, the game session has to perform housekeeping and reset itself. Alternatively, the process can be shut down and a new process can be started from the game server software. The recycle method tends to eliminate problems from memory leaks. The reuse method tends to be faster because cleanup is usually faster than startup initiation. Your game server software is required to support a minimal set of GameLift functions through the GameLift server SDK integration. For example, when the game session is operational and ready to receive players, your game must make a call to GameLift announcing that it's ready for players. Also, GameLift requires information from the game session so that it can accurately report status on the GameLift dashboard. Fleets are placed in a queue. When a request comes in to play a game, the system uses the queue to find an acceptable fleet and identify an available game session. Game session placement is sophisticated. The player's software measures latency to regional endpoints and provides this information in the game request. The lowest latency fleet is selected. If it's not available or has no open game sessions, the next one is chosen. The system is also aware of fleet costs, and it will choose an available lower-cost spot fleet before an equivalent on-demand fleet when other factors are equal. You can set up multiple queues for global game server hosting. Another popular feature of GameLift is Flex Match. A common design is to accumulate individual game requests in the game backend software and bundle these into a group match request. FlexMatch records this as a match ticket, which is placed in a pool. FlexMatch iterates over the pool, searching for matches that satisfy the matchmaking rules. When a candidate is found, GameLift uses the other layers previously described to locate an appropriate game session to host the match. FlexMatch provides many features and options. For example, you can require that the match be accepted by all the players before the game session is placed. And you can set a timeout for players to respond. Also, you can design the matchmaking rule set and provide it to GameLift. The rule set can include latency requirements, describe the constitution of teams, including how many players, define multiple kinds of teams for a game, and use player characteristics to qualify the players on a team to support a match. Finally, the rules can be configured to relax over time so that you control the trade-off between waiting for better matching resources to become available or hosting a game with the resources that are currently available. Take a look at the characteristics of Amazon GameLift compared with the requirements. Amazon GameLift is an ideal solution for hosting multiplayer games with the most focus on developing the game server and the least work required on development operations.